where he's going to be flying out to Blizzard HQ to be able to see the content beforehand, and what he chooses to do with the footage he'll be able to get. But that stuff won't be revealed until the 18th. Okay, so we are currently putting all of our money into buying a house, and then after we buy a house, we'll go have a ceremony or whatever. We've been together for, this will be 10 years. Okay, so Pain Gorgers is trash, just like we expected it to be. I'm gonna put this back on. This would not be optimal, but. Now I get to put a multi back on, which would be Damned, which will just be strictly better. Is there any other basic skill thing I'm missing? Rapid attack speed would be nice. Already have Moonrise. So Rapid would be cool. Hectic is cool. But I think I want Might. But no, Damned would just be stronger. We'll keep using Hectic for a hot second. Shattered Spirit works much better for Reap? Probably not, I would say. Yo, be good, Atticus. And thank you for the congratulations, everybody. I do appreciate that. For a basic damage? It's like pretty mid, because it eats all of your essence when it casts, and then it reads you as having 0 essence for the Bone Splinters. So you lose all of your damage multi from Serration and from Lockrins. And yes, you get like an 8 times multi, but you lose out on a 2 times multi, and a 3 times multi, and Serration Aspect, which would be a 1.4 if you're using it. You probably can't fit it though. This 1.5 isn't going to move the needle, but we're going to try it. Okay. Yeah, you can hit them with all the splinters for sure. That doesn't change any of the things that I said though. And it requires you to be casting Bone Spirit. And you'll find that the Bone Spirit damage, if you're building correctly, will often like outperform the basic skill damage. So then it becomes a little Keck W as far as I'm concerned. I was trying to make Pain Gorgers work, but like, it just kind of doesn't. So this is better. Not great, but better. Maydoms. I was able to announce that I'm flying out to Seattle. See, Maydoms knew. It's mostly because obviously your partner has to know when you're just going to be leaving. You... Sandia. Can't say that out loud. Hey, I'm going to Washington. Why? No reason. I just always wanted to be in Seattle, Washington. the day before we leave for our anniversary. I just really wanted to be in Seattle. Chumba, thank you so much for the tier 1. I am excited. New Way Devil, thank you for the follow. Personally, you like having barrier? Yeah, I mean, I could have another 20 DR on here. I don't think that survivability is lacking unless you die. There was a dog in the office. Because right now I'm using Hectic to reduce cooldowns, but that could be Might for another 20 DR. But I want to be able to try to bump up this damage some way. Hold on, I gotta finish this corner. Do you know what stats make your minions stronger besides aspect tempers when choosing early season? Basically all of them. There are just some outliers, and if the thing that you're thinking about starts getting too niche, it might not work. Like the list of things that don't work is damage while fortified. They can't get fortified. Damage while you have barrier. They can't get barrier. Like, you have to ask the question, can my minion do this? And if my minion can't do it, it doesn't benefit from it. Why do you have Blight on your bar? To cast Blight for 20% damage multiplier. If you put the, I forget the name of which enhancement it is. No problem. This build seems okay for trash farming. I would hard disagree. Because you could just be casting Blood Surge, or like Bone Spear, or Reap, or Sever, or Blood Lance, or Bone Spirit, or Shadow Blood Wave. I would say every other build is better at farming trash than this thing, so I don't think we can call it okay. But what I will say is I think it's doing better than it has any right to be doing. Decay, Concussive, or Sacrificial for endgame Blight plus Corpse Explosion? Those three aspects don't go onto the same gear piece except for the gloves. So I'm confused why they're in the conversation together. But you use Concussive and Sacrificial on Blight. But you put Concussive strikes on your boots. Yeah, of course. Ripper Dipper. How bad do you think they're going to nerf all the new gear? I cut it in half, at least, I would say. It's so wild. You would think doing like 14 million DPS would be like good enough to make trash farming better. you kill stuff in seconds and don't die, that's okay. Yeah, I think we fundamentally disagree on what okay means. I think if you are the worst at doing a thing out of everything, you can't be considered to be okay. Because okay typically means average expected output. Like the average is okay. And this is below the average. I also don't think that this is doing it. Like, I actually do not believe that it is performing at that level. But we don't have to agree. Technically, I could do infinite DPS if I had infinite monsters to hit. Because I do AoE damage. So, like, it's got that going for it, which is kind of nice. And it's stupid as all hell to look at. Below average would be unable to do the content. That's not what below average means. That is not like an objective truth of how you would define below average. When you take the average expected outcome, all builds can do tier 100, right? All the current meta builds. You then define what the average outcome is based off of speed, and sometimes ease, and sometimes gear requirements. I have yet to clear tier 100 on this. And if I cannot get the materials at the end because it takes too long, then I have not succeeded. So this is both below average, which is accurate, but to the point where I no longer believe that it is okay. I would argue this is in fact not okay. I did not reset. Oh, don't do it. Cool, man.
I need more time.
Also, how come this dude hits you even when he swings behind you? That's my damage window. Don't you understand? That's my damage window.
I need more time.
God damn it, making me run away. No! No! Rip. This looks slightly better than non-overpower Blood Surge. Rip, my dude. Yeah. That's my damage window. My fucking damage window. Hello? He's doing the summoning motion, but sometimes just not summoning anything. Something's happening there. He's failing to summon the second tier. He's only doing the first tier and the third tier. What's up with that? So the issue with Splinters is that it doesn't have AoE. If you just cast Bone Splinters at stuff. You can just cast Bone Spirit at stuff. What's going on there? I mean, I'm fine with this dude for me right now being buggy, but like... Nice. Yeah, see, he's failing to cast. Something's going on there. Don't put him down. Get him! Get him! Get him!
I'm not ready yet.
No! No! No!
I do not have
Nice.
an emotion.
We're good.
I need more time. I need more time.
Rip. Yo, what up, Barricade? Cleared Pit 100 with Boilers, Werewolf Tornado build, flawlessly run. Boiler's a great rider. Now you're gonna do Bone Spirit? GG. Good luck, man. Thank you, Barricade. Alright, so I think we can all agree, Reap bad. Reap bad. Best AoE damage that we have. Bad. So, now we do Blood. Blood and Hope. Right. For Blood and Hope, we need to do Blood Orb Tempers. Is that on armor? Can Bone Spirit do Pit 100? Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I saved the wrong number. I hope you'll forgive me. Whoever you are, God bless you and have a good life. Just tell him to fuck off one more time. Oh, it's not. It's a scam, Barricade. Did you go on a date yesterday? I told him to fuck off and they said, "Why are you, period? Why are you so rude, question mark?" To which I responded with, "Why are you, period, question mark?" He said, "This is Crystal. Is this Mia's phone number?" To which I responded with, "Why are you, period, question mark, pyramid, period." And then they hit me with the, "Oh, I'm sorry, God bless you and have a good life." I then told them to fuck off again. I just like to waste the scammer's time. Try to tell him some kind of shit coin. I do not currently invest in any shit coins, but I could, yeah. So here's my problem. I would want to run, what's it called? I'd like to run Blood Moon Breaches. But then I can't fit on the armor temper. And it's like a direct multiplier of how often you overpower. Run a shield. Running the shield loses me a damage multi, which is either a 1.8 or a 1.8, and I want to run attack speed. But I don't need to solve for AoE, I need to solve for single target damage. Because it doesn't matter if I can AoE clear with the build, it matters if I kill the boss at the end. And then I also lose out on skill ranks, which is a before would be 8. 8 out of 43 is a little bit more than 1/5. It's about 20% damage. But again, 100% damage. That Reap build had Lucian? Yes. We were working on basic skill builds. Well, every blood orb that you pick up reduces cooldown by 2 seconds. It is worth it to overpower more. But how worth it is becomes a problem. How do I have 5 skill points? Sure. Let's just try this for right now. Let's just see how it feels. This is actually better. So I don't care about this. I don't care about this. Life per second. Oof. Sure. It's actually a very bad board to build out of for the third one. Should actually just this should be my last. This should be a last board. A shooter. What was it? Abyssal is actually a really good willpower. Scent of Death should be an intelligence. Corporeal, sure. Oh, I don't need this much intelligence. Bada bing, bada boom. No, this one can't be corporeal. This one has to be dominate. Back to go for a run in Cambridge. Wish you luck. Hopefully the heat doesn't assassinate you. A run in Cambridge, my dog? Good luck. Good luck, my friend. I definitely have screwed something up here. There's not a lot I can do about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, right, it's because I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4 legendary nodes. What is the only other multi I could realistically get? Control? Can't activate control. Okay. Why above pit on scent? I get it. I was like, why am I going above? Good question. Sure. And that does literally nothing. There we go. Okay. Then this becomes Rathmos. Just to see. I just want to go see what the build does. Moonrise goes into cap 1. We have blood attack speed, sure. Let's just go see what this does. Sure. And then after this, I need to go make some food. Sure, it has been 4 hours and I haven't stood up yet, so that's not great. I'll just like pop something in. Oh. That's not gonna help. An expert on Necro, please tell me which spear will be better in Season 5, Bloody or Bone? I really want to play as Necro Spear, but I played it before the release. Bone Spear. Although Bloodlance isn't a spear. It doesn't really function in that way. But Bone Spear will be stronger. Repair gear. Is it broken? Thanks. So we need healthy status uptime.
I do not have any potions.
So I guess Undying? Is a solve for that? So I'm actually not overpowering enough for Rathmos to have 100% uptime.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm out of potions.
I consider Gorquils over Blight to pick up Blood Orbs. You shouldn't need to do that, is kind of like the idea. And I would need to fit an aspect, which I don't have room for on the build. Gorquils is significantly harder to introduce to a build thing than I think a lot of people give it credit for. What do you solve for this? So you gotta go Undying, which means you can't use... Oh, I can't even... Where would I fit it? I can't fit it anywhere. You just can't run Blood Moon? Is like the answer? Cut my damage in half? But then I can't fit my aspects on.
I'm not ready yet. I lack the required essence.
You can't fit Lucian. Essence per second won't get you there. Resource cost reduction isn't enough. It's not even enough here. Oh, because I'm not actually hitting a thing though. Hold on. Does Bone Storm proc Pain Gorges? It does. The issue being that Pain Gorgers doesn't carry crit damage and it doesn't carry overpower damage. So Pain Gorgers is basically useless on the Necromancer because we don't apply anything by doing damage types to monsters. Like, we don't apply a bunch of electricity and stuff to monsters for Tal Rashas, and we don't apply bleed, and we don't apply poison. This absolutely does not feed enough, Garm. That's just straight up can't manage it. Not at these speeds. Moonrise isn't doing shit.
I lack the required essence.
Or adaptability, rather. What offensive aspect are we losing? We could lose a 1.8. We could lose a 1.8 with attack speed. Or we could lose Rathmas. So then Rathmas. And then it's like, why the fuck are we playing Hemo? Better Blood Orb generation and larger size would help a bit with damage. Although, I think the issue was the amount of damage we were putting out, not how wide the damage was, because we weren't even killing monsters with like 2 corpse tendrils worth of crowd control. That's with Masterwork crit resource cost reduction as well. Let's say I doubled the rate at which I was generating blood orbs here. I would be overpowering. Twice as fast. I would have better overlap of Rathmans. But the irony is like, so pick up all these, right? I think it's just bad. This is Fortify Hemo. I think that's just a bad build. I have Blood Moons on. Did we get a hydrate in the last 2 hours? I have to go grab. I have to make something. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab water and I'm gonna grab a snack. Give me a few minutes. I'll run ads now so we're not interrupted later. Sorry. I got reached out to about a thing and I very kindly said, I'm not interested in this right now. And then they word vomited at me with scare tactics. And were like, if you still don't want it, reach out to me. And I was like, that's so wild. I just said no. Thank you for acting without my consent. That's gross. Try it with the orb gen tempers? I can. I don't know where I would fit it. Like, where would I fit it? The answer is nowhere. Or I have to solve armor without a total armor roll. Which I can currently add another 500 armor. But like cutting my damage in half to double the rate that I overpower is kind of nonsense. And then it's more than cutting my damage in half. Like even if it doubles. Shield chest. So lose Rathmas by putting on a shield. So lose 20% damage. Well, lose 10% damage. I also would need a shield with max resource on it. We could try it. We'll try it. You need 1 GA armor roll. I do not have that item. Sadly, I cannot generate the items, as it were. All right, I will be right back. Run ads now. Super Toscana. That's funny. I'm glad some people in the community like the stims that I have. Like just announcing Super Toscana out loud. I run ads here. Oh, hey, if you're wow, we're actually doing really good. We have 75% like rate on YouTube. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, click the like button. We get to 100%, I'll give you a cookie. I'll be right back.
Father bless. What do you need?
Precious stones to catch the light. Come and see.
Maximum life is pretty good. I would like maximum resource. Can I get maximum resource? Bro. Bro. Okay. I'm so wet. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I am so disgustingly wet. Well, it's not even enough armor. It's only 81 degrees. I don't see a lot of videos on the Infernal Hordes. There's like, it's a cool thing. It's just like not gonna look like what it currently looks like in like a meaningful way. There's kind of like no way. There we go. Okay, so we got there. Got there. Shield is going to give armor or max life, because they kind of got to change it because it's just not really tuned well. This needs to be Moonrise. And then this could be Undying. It could just be Might. Let's try Undying. Okay. The PTR is good because we are testing things and we're getting a lot of like really good bug testing and feedback to them. The PTR, smashing success. New content feels pretty undertuned. Okay, so I am properly healing enough. No, Garm, no. That's hater dog. It's implementation, not the fact that it exists. It itself is cool content. Oh, I'm sorry, you're talking about the PTR. Yo, what up, Sunny? Yo, thank you very much, man. You're definitely on a good platform to look for trades. Diablo.trade. This is bad. I can't be any more inside of this pack of monsters than I am. It turns out you just don't step on the blood orbs. like I can't be any more on top of these monsters. And this is with monsters that don't move. Start to step around a little bit. So I need to attack to make the blood orbs. Now we're flicker step playing. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of the build, but like I have 83% chance and 76%, so I have 150% chance. So right now I'm at 75% chance to proc. I don't know if it shows here. Whoa. That's not what that should be. It starts at 30% chance, right? Doesn't it start at 30% chance to proc? Am I high? This is bad. It is just straight up bad. I don't care what percentage you get this up to. This isn't going to be kill a tier 100 boss in a reasonable amount of time damage. Then you have Decompose, which is it's like Blight but strictly worse because half of its damage component is critical damage. So it's again this like trying to marry together these two concepts that don't actually overlap. Was I not in Blood Mist? Hello? Did I think I was in Blood Mist, but I actually wasn't? Is that what just happened? Yeah, what up, Jep? I was invited to Seattle. I'm going to be live streaming directly following the reveal of Spiritborn. Y'all gonna be able to watch me play the class in real time? Okay. Playing a different class, I know. I know. What am I gonna do? How do I make it do the damage? We're gonna have to coordinate. We should all try to play like a different version of it. Also, like, when are my damage windows? This is just like, it's just bad blood. It's bad Bloodlands. This is just like strictly worse Bloodlands. Rob is going to LA. I am going to Seattle. Switch to Blighted Veins, but that brings them, it makes it where they attacked from, so they're equally as far away from me, and then I lose out on a multi. I mean, you can. I don't think that's gonna make or break here. You don't have to go correct. You don't have to go correct, Rob, but I appreciate that. This is trash. There's no, I'm sorry. I don't care if this thing's output becomes 3 times better. Like, how much better would this thing's output have to become for me to feel good about it? I've met Woody in person because we both got flown out to BlizzCon. I haven't met Rax yet. I mean, we've been working together for years, but we have not met in the flesh. So I am excited to be able to finally meet him. Been friends for a long time. But I've met Wu Dijo, and I've never met Fame. So obviously we're in the same sphere. It'll be cool to meet her. I just want to get to the boss to see how it works. That's the other thing too, like, yeah, I'll increase my clear speed if I swap over to Blighted here, but then I lose out on damage against the boss. This loses the benefit of being able to fit Hectic on. It does better damage when you overpower, obviously, but now we're talking about overpowering like once every like 6 casts. Like, this is like literally Flicker Step, except Flicker Step activates Flicker Step makes you do damage after you Flicker Step. Which I would love a version of that existed for blood builds right now. You kind of get stuck in this weird thing where you don't immediately start the timer up again. When you regain healthy, it like starts the timer back at 0, it seems like. And maintaining healthy against a pack like that just kind of seems impossible. So you kind of have to just like run away and get it to proc and then come back in. I also can't aim the skill at who I want to attack on controller. Sorry, I'm clearing my throat so much. This seems like you drop the damage for Temerity scenario. Then you lose damage reduction. If you drop Blood Moon Breaches to run Temerity just to maintain healthy enough to make the engine for the Blood Orb generation to actually get you to overpower strong enough, you're losing out on 2x damage for it. Oh, well, coming. Also, this boss moves, so we're fucked. And we can't deal with the blood blisters. Hey guys, I don't think basic skill hemorrhage does anything that's worth the amount of effort you have to put in. Can't even Blood Mist as often as you want because you don't overpower as much. Oh, right, and you have to be constantly picking up the blood orbs for the blood orb multi. So I really feel like you basically just have to be stutter stepping the whole time, but then at that point, you should be casting nukes and not this like fast attack speed type build, but you need to attack fast to make the blood orbs. This is nothing. I would not do that. So then it's just Shattered Spirit. It's like at that point just play Bone Spirit. Because you're tying all of your damage to casting Bone Spirit. The rotation goes like Bone Spirit, Bone Prison, Curse, Bone Spirit, Bone Prison, Curse. And at that point you're just playing Bone Spirit. So basic skills just don't work. Decompose doesn't really work because the attack speed doesn't matter on Decompose. You can't make it trigger faster. You're stuck to this 1 second timer, and then you have 2 different damage types, damage over time and then crit damage. So then what the fuck's the point of doing the damage? It's like, does this even scale? So this doesn't even scale with skill ranks. So, Reap almost did stuff, Sirach. Reap was cool. It just does consistent like 3 to 8 million damage every time you hit something with it. And that's kind of all it does. The issue being that doing 16 million DPS is nothing on tier 100. Like, you need to be doing 100 million DPS to be able to speed farm tier 100s. So, you know, 16 million, you call it 20 million DPS is a fifth of what it needs to be. And you need to be right next to them. But at least it like kind of scaled. At least I'm not a sweaty mess like Voodie. What's going on with Voodie? And like the bones, it's de-synergistic with itself. It's like, it's insane actually. Like the only reason why it even vaguely works right now is because we have on Macabre cast Essence. Splinter Paingorgers max it out. So sadly, Paingorgers doesn't carry critical strike damage or overpower damage, and all of Bone's primary damage multipliers are critical strike damage. So you just get the base damage of Splinters without the crit modifiers, so it's trash. And you can't choose to scale the base damage harder. That's not like a thing. Right, so that 750 multi that you get from casting Bone Spirit eats all of your essence. Your Bone Splinters read you as having 0 essence when they trigger. So you lose out on Serration, which at this point you don't even really use on the build. But you lose out on Ossified Essence multi. And then, again, the Pain Gorgers doesn't carry with it crit or overpower. So like Pain Gorgers is not part of the equation there. Smitty Boy, thank you very much for the $12 super chat. Thank you for the testing that you do. Barrett Night Shift on me. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you, thank you. So you can do that. And then you ask the question, it would not do 200% of that damage. Or rather, you're talking about like the base damage. And then you're ignoring all of your additive damage bucket, which is like another 10x multiplier. So 1,000 damage. And then you're missing out on Serration, which is another 200% multiplier. That goes away. And then you get to a single target and it does nothing. So then you ask the question, why am I making myself better at AoE damage when I'm already casting Bone Spirit, which will just kill everything? It would carry Vuln? Sure. Vulnerable damage, which is significantly less effective than crit damage. Like, I'm not confused about how the numbers work, right? Like, I understand you can apply Vulnerable. But the vast majority of multipliers that you have available to a Bone skill is through crit damage. Just like first and foremost. Or through essence manipulation. Those two things don't work with Pain Gorgers. And we also just like don't need Pain Gorgers because we're already casting Bone Spirit, which will do 100 million damage. So we don't need AoE damage. The Necromancer never needs to solve for the AoE damage portion. What we need to do is do single target damage. And against the single target, you lose out on all your essence multis. And then when you cast it, considering your Bone Spirit does get all of your essence multis, which is a 16 times multi, and your Bone Splinters don't, and then you see the damage from Bone Spirit, you beg the question, why am I scaling my Splinters? When my Bone Spirit with no ranks in it will do more damage. And then you realize you just cast Bone Spirit. The rotation is the exact same as Bone Spirit. Everything that empowers Bone normally doesn't work because Bone Spirit eats all the essence. And the Bone Spirit does all the damage. So the Pain Gorgers are useless regardless, but they do not increase your clear speed in any meaningful way. And then the shards are weaker than they should be. And then you realize, why would I even have Bone Splinters on my skill bar? I don't need that. I could fit more things to add multipliers to my damage. And then you realize you're a Bone Spirit build. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, and adaptability doesn't work with it, actually. Because you have to cast the Bone Splinters for it to get the multi. It doesn't get it from triggered procs. You actually don't get the 1.8 on your Bone Splinters. Can't you up your basic for skill for single target damage? You could, or you just cast Bone Spirit, which will do significantly more damage. And you don't get the adaptability multi. So you actually just lose this. So you end up using Serration. So you end up losing the multiplier from Serration. Or you could do Great Feast. And it forces you to use this bad sword. And I'm so angry that this sword exists. The reason why I'm so angry that this sword exists is because now I will never hear the end of, well, why aren't you trying a basic skill build? We have a basic skill sword. And I will never hear the end of it. Screw Shattered Spirit, instead just ramp up the base damage and hit everything on the screen with Blood Surge? Blood Surge? What? Blood Surge? Why would I use Blood Surge on a Bone Splinters build? Oh, proc the Pain Gorgers. But then it doesn't carry crit damage. It won't do anything. It does no damage in comparison. And then I'm making myself better at doing AoE damage, the thing I don't need to solve for. I need to solve for single target damage. I'm losing it. It turns out losing out on crit multipliers is a significant amount of damage. We just don't have a basic skill build, and that's okay. So the issue, so the issue with Bone Splinters is that we don't do AoE damage. The issue with Pain Gorgers is that it doesn't carry our damage. So by using Pain Gorgers to solve for AoE damage, we're not, because it doesn't carry our damage. That doesn't make us do AoE damage, actually. Because we lose out on all of our critical strike damage multipliers. And it turns out you gotta do like a couple 100 million to kill stuff. And not getting any of our crit multipliers negatively impacts our ability to do that. We are not going to run generic additive damage because that's less effective than critical strike additive damage. And we can't just sacrifice all of our single target damage for AoE damage because then we haven't solved for it. So it goes around and around and around and around and around. Pain Gorgers is not currently a thing for, the Necromancer, because we can't apply anything through it. The only thing that we have are overpower multipliers, crit damage multipliers, and scalars for shadow damage. We don't have like apply dots. We don't have apply bleeding. We don't have apply different damage types for multipliers on the Sork. We don't do poison like Wind Shear on Druid. We don't do any, our darkness skills do shadow damage, our blood skills can overpower, our bone skills do crit multi and essence manipulation, and then also our bone skills can overpower, making them the best blood builds in the game. We don't carry any extra things that do stuff. We're punished for being in melee range because we're not as tanky as other builds. Reap was looking pretty decent. Reap was looking fine until you got to the boss. And if you need your build to be min-maxed to do tier 100, then we're talking about a very underperforming build in this day and age. So I don't think it's really decent. It just has the least amount of problems. What's your best PTR build for Necro? Bone Spirit. What's DPS like? 5 to 10 billion. Decompose in Thorns while channeling. I wouldn't really call that a basic skill build because you're not looking to scale your basic skill damage. That's just like a Thorns thing for your Golem. Have I done it? I haven't. We could try out Thorns because I kind of got nothing else to do. 5 billion DPS? Yeah, 5 to 10. That's endgame Bone Spirit. Because it turns out you can get up to like almost 500. 500 maximum essence, which is a 21x multi on Bone Spirit before you do any other calculation. It's also a 3.25 multi here. You have a 2.25 multi on your helmet. You have a 5 times multi on your amulet. Basically a 2x multi on one aspect alone. It's pretty insane. Clip, you'd have to talk to Sirach. Show you a picture. So these are the primary hit and then the secondary hit from Imprisoned Spirit. Y'all can't see that. So this is a single Bone Spirit cast, doing over 10 billion damage per cast, and you can basically spam Bone Spirit once every like 2 seconds. Yo, Sirach, you here? How's basic stuff going? Reap, I think, is the best contender, and it's pretty mid. Or you could just cast Bone Spirit. Sever was doing really well. Sever was doing significantly better than you would expect it to. Because it doesn't have ramp anymore, it just does damage. Sirach, so I was informed by chat that it turns out that Path of Trigul actually does spit out multiple splinters. And well, that's impossible. Sirach and I both went and counted. Because it only shows you 30 splinters. But they are actually double casting.